Welcome to PWS United, a podcast for the Prader-Willi syndrome community, brought to you by PWSA USA. This podcast gives the latest news in research, advocacy, and family support by bringing together staff, volunteers, PWS treatment specialists, biotech and pharmaceutical representatives, caregivers, family members, and individuals with PWS. Our goal is to share education, awareness, and resources with those living with PWS and their supporters. Join us in our mission to enhance the quality of life and empower those affected by Prader-Willi syndrome.
It's been a while since we've recorded a pulse.
It is, Annie. I was thinking that right before we came on here to record today that we've had a lot of amazing episodes come out, but I haven't, I feel like, in a little while to do this, and I miss it. It's something I love every other week. So I'm happy to be back with you. I'm happy that we've been able to share some really awesome episodes recently with Terry Wilcox.
That was such a good one.
Yeah, that was so awesome. And we have so many more coming up with different guests and different highlights and some new things. So I can't wait to share those too.
Yeah.
Just the ever evolving PWS United podcast.
Which is now on YouTube.
Yeah. Ooh, love that shout out.
Not in video, though.
Right.
Not yet.
It is a graphic for now. But whenever we start making these like completely all the way through, not pausing to giggle more or, whatever we do.
Just blow our nose.
Well, yes, blow our nose. We will
yes.
have some video content with them, but for another day.
Yeah. Disclaimer, I'm having allergies and a cold. So if my voice, my audio doesn't sound as clear, we'll blame it on that. We'll blame it on early spring, I guess.
There you go. Yes, you blame it on whatever you want. We do, though, have a lot of staff who are not feeling the best, and I think there's a reason for it, and we'll get into that here pretty soon. But I just want to check in with you, Annie. How's it going?
Things are good. Yeah, on the Freya front, we had to stop jujitsu, which was actually a bummer. The last 2 classes, she came away with like a sore tailbone and has been having a hard time kind of getting around because of it. So yes, I know that there are other people with PWS who successfully do jujitsu. So I don't know. Anyway, I just want to put that out there that we're not doing that. And we're sad about it, but it seems like the right decision because you shouldn't be having trouble walking afterwards.
No.
So,
Or trying to power through the pain. Yeah. When you know, right?
yeah.
Well,
How
yeah,
are you?
I'm doing good. Sorry, I was gonna say I'm sad for Freya, but I think that is a good mom move on your end.
Yeah, we'll find her something else. She really wants to ride horses. We just have to find the right place that we can afford.
Gotcha.
Which is harder
Well,
than
we're
you think.
excited. Yeah, we're excited to hear updates on that. If you find a good one and it starts, please tell us. We'd love to hear all about it.
I will.
I'm doing pretty good. I have just finished a 2-week-long travel escapade and finally back home. So it's a lot of wind down time right now and really getting into conference work, which is always very exciting. But since we kind of started to get into the new year here and with conference coming up in just a few months, it's really spending a lot of time just making sure that every, T is crossed, I is dotted for that great event. And I'm excited to really just start focusing on that. So that's where you'll find me, sitting at my computer, making signs and communication plans.
Yeah. Well, I'm even more excited since we got to be in the space again. I still struggle to get around, but that's okay. That's just my inability to find directions, I guess. But
We learned on that trip who has directionally challenged versus not. So it will weed everyone out who's got, directional talents.
Yep. Even that last morning, I was wheeling my luggage through the parking lot, asking somebody, "Do you know where the lobby is?"
Where am I? It's okay. We will have many signs, many floor stickers all over that resort, and people will definitely find their way. I'm confident of that.
Yes.
But I know it's a little tricky to navigate the space.
Yeah.
So
Not as tricky as I made it, I think, is really what it comes
it
it's
might just
more
be
me.
Annie, guys.
It's more user error.
Oh my
We'll
gosh,
make sure
that's
you guys
funny.
get around, don't worry.
Yes.
Just don't
Um,
follow me.
just don't follow Annie. We also have, though, a very awesome feature to that resort. You can call from your room and have a golf cart pick you up from the lobby and take you wherever you need to go. And they're free to get a ride anywhere. So we're going to have more information about how to do that and make sure everybody knows that that's an option. But just want to put that out as well if people are starting to get worried after hearing our experience.
Yeah, sorry.
I feel confident in the space. I feel like I can get around. So you can follow me.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh my goodness. Amazing. Well, let's, on that note, Annie, get into the pulse here. This is volume 116. It was sent on February 7th. And as per usual, going recently and then going forward, we're going to be doing a spotlight on the 2025 International PWS Conference. And we really just want to make sure everybody knows that hotel rooms at the Arizona Grand Resort and Spa are filling up extremely fast. And I'll give a little more detail on that in just a minute here. But we wanted to start by sharing that our team has returned recently from a very exciting visit to the resort location in Phoenix, Arizona. And it was our annual staff meeting. We love doing this every year. It's a great opportunity for us to come together after, working virtually throughout the year to collaborate and just make, continued connections and growth and strengthen our connections. So it was a wonderful time, and I think Annie would agree with me on that.
Yes, I absolutely agree.
So while we were there, we did finalize some key conference details, including, sessions, program locations, our signage, our camps, our 50th birthday celebration activities, and so much more. The resort is truly incredible, and we just cannot wait for you all to experience it firsthand in June. And to help you get familiar with the space, we'll actually be sharing some video previews of the resort and conference areas soon on our social media channels. So stay tuned for that. We'll also, in future, podcast episodes when they're ready to be shared, we'll have the links for those. So hopefully it gives, again, just a little insight into navigating the conference and resort location. As Annie mentioned, it might be a little tricky at first to get around, but we're very confident in everyone. So you got this. And then, in addition to the conference work that we did there, we also had the wonderful opportunity to meet with and get to know members of the PWSA Arizona chapter, and then several families who lived in the Phoenix, Arizona area, including their loved ones living with PWS, which was such a joy to get to know those families, talk to them, tell them what we do a little bit more, and just have, again, that connection time in person with families. So, which we don't get too often. So
Yeah.
it was a real treat. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that part. I loved meeting those families, and I just love meeting adults with PWS because that's kind of a new thing for me,
Yeah.
working with PWSA, and I just really love that. It's really
You went up and introduced yourself to a couple of them, right, Annie?
Uh-huh.
And spoke with
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Hoping to get some of their story
Yes.
in the content coming up, so we'll see.
Always doing some shameless plugs for the PWS and Adulthood blog series. That's
Yep.
my girl. So again, that was just such an amazing experience to be able to go to the conference space again, hang out with the Arizona chapter and those families. And we can't wait to go back in June. And we want to see all of you there in June as well. So, again, the International PWS Conference is taking place June 24th through 28th, and there's still plenty of time to register. And a reminder that our early bird pricing ends on March 31st. So, do not miss out on those savings, and we will have a link to register for the conference in our show notes. And as I mentioned, the resort rooms are filling up very, very quickly. Most of them are actually booked at this point, but there is still some space. So we just want to put another giant please out there to go and book your resort room as soon as possible if you want to stay on site. However, for those seeking alternative accommodations or when those rooms eventually do fill up, which again will be pretty quickly here, we now have a hotel locator website that was designed specifically for 2025 conference attendees. So you can explore nearby lodging options in the Phoenix area by going to that link in our show notes, and it will be conference hotel locator website. That's what it should be labeled. So while you're welcome, again, to stay at any of the hotels listed on that locator or find alternative lodging in the Phoenix area, we do want to note that you will be, though, responsible for arranging transportation to and from the Arizona Grand Resort and Spa for the conference sessions. So on that note, we cannot wait to see everyone in Phoenix very soon here. It's coming up so fast. It's always crazy how quickly conference ends up sneaking up on us. But if you have any questions in the meantime, please feel free to reach out to us. You can email that info@pwsausa.org email address or call us at 941-312-0400. And to finish out this section, I just wanted to give a very sweet quote that we received from someone who has come to one of our conferences in the past and just gives a little plug for why people should come to this one. So she says, at my third PWS conference, I met another mom who I now consider my PWS tribe. We connected in a way that only special needs parents can. We now plan our trips together so our families can spend time together at the conferences. And we have added another family to our tribe now. And we have even had our separate girls' weekends that I cherish so much. And that was sent to us by Mom Amy Lemons, who is mom to Brock, who's 22 and living with PWS.
So something that we are adding this year, since this is our 50th, is PWSA memories. And we're reaching out to our community to ask people to share memories that they have, whether they're from 50 years ago or from a year ago. So we have a PWSA memory from Bonnie Schiedel from Washington, Oregon chapter, and she is mom to Bill. So Vani submitted a really cool memory, and I'll be sharing the length of that at another point. But I just wanted to share this quote here in the Pulse. And she said, Dr. Vanja Home, one of the doctors primarily responsible for founding PWSA, asked Bill, who was then 4 years old, to participate in a research study to determine if people with PWS were deficient in growth hormone. His small contribution of that overnight stay was part of developing the only known treatment for Prader-Willi syndrome for 40 more years.
That's
So,
incredible
yeah.
that they were part of that historic moment. And then to be willing to share that with the community, again,
Uh-huh.
that eventually became the only treatment for our loved ones. Like,
Yeah.
what an amazing thing that they did for the
I,
community.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I was really excited when I read her entry, her submission. And yeah, I got a little choked up reading that quote because I'm just so grateful.
Yeah,
So I think we all
absolutely.
are. We're all very grateful to
Mhm.
those first families. So I appreciate you, Bonnie and Bill. Thank you. And thank you for sharing that memory. And if you would like to share your memory, there will be a link to that in the show notes. And we really encourage that. It does. I know we're coming out strong with like one of the first families who like helped get growth hormone out there, but
Don't let it intimidate you.
right. Yeah, that doesn't have to be that doesn't have to be the memory. We're looking for all kinds of memories of, if you hosted a fundraiser, if you went to a conference or you went to a meetup or even just meeting somebody through the Facebook groups and now you guys
Yeah.
have a connection. Anything like that. We want to share those memories. And we also would like to share our new spotlight on hope, and this is about Cam, and this was submitted by his parent, Sammy Hatfield. So Cam was adopted from China as a baby and now lives a successful, full life with his American parents. From traveling abroad in the Mediterranean to playing sports with his peers and acting on the stage, Cam lives a fulfilling and exciting life. And Cam's parent wrote, Our children deserve to live life full, but we must fill them with things other than food. As a teacher of 28 years, I believe in being firm, fair, and consistent, and not putting lids on kids. All kids crave structure and routine. It's key to our kids' success. Praying for a cure, but until then, we strive to live full. So thank you so much for sharing that. And you can read the full blog at the link in the show notes, and there will also be a link in the show notes to share your own spotlight on hope, which again can be anything from climbing a mountain to just letting us know who your loved one is. Just giving us a little snippet about them and who they are and what makes them happy. We love to hear that as well. So You'll see links for those in the show notes.
So, moving on now to some upcoming events and fundraisers. Just another reminder here that our 50th anniversary celebration Journey of Hope Gala will be on Friday, September 26th, 2025, at the Ritz Carlton in St. Louis, Missouri. And our team is busy building our registration and sponsorship website. So, we will have that very soon to share, and we cannot wait to start selling tickets for this great event. And again, just be able to celebrate those who came before us and those who have helped build PWSA to what it is today. It's going to be a really wonderful event honoring those who, again, have just been there through time. And we just can't wait to see everyone there. It's going to be a great event. We want to also thank Amy Avart and her family for hosting the incredible fundraiser Diamonds in Denim that took place on February 1st. And Amy, host of the fundraiser and mom to Esme, who is living with PWS, wrote, Diamonds in Denim 2025 was a smashing success. We raised over $50,000 this year for PWSA. Oh my goodness. I'm so incredibly proud of Amy and her family and friends. Oh, so amazing. And then she said, a huge thank you to those who attended and made it just an enjoyable evening. Thank you to those who couldn't be there but were bidding and donating anyway. Thank you to Team Esme and spouses for putting your whole heart behind this cause. Thank you to Pose on the Hill for an amazing venue and Chad Burton for bringing the fun, who was their DJ. Our hearts are bursting with the amount of support and love that was on full display over that weekend. There are no words. So a big thank you again to Amy and everybody who went to Diamonds in Denim. It looked like such an incredible event. We will have a lot more photos to share. I received some from Amy the other day, so I can't wait to put those in a blog and be able to share those out with the community. But we're just incredibly grateful to her for all of the work that she put into this, again, wonderful event. And for those who didn't attend, or for those who did, who still want to contribute a little bit more, they are still taking donations on the Diamonds in Denim webpage, and we will have a link to that in our show notes. All right, next event coming up is a very exciting one, and one that we have mentioned in this podcast before. But again, as it's coming up very quickly, we want to make sure that we give it its due. And that is the Clint Hurdle Hot Stove Dinner. So tickets are on sale for the 11th annual Hot Stove Dinner. This incredible event features dinner, live entertainment, prize raffles, the always anticipated coconut golf ball drop, many exciting auction items available for in-person and virtual bidding. And again, that includes that book autographed by Taylor Swift, and the option to attend virtually if you cannot make it to Florida. This fundraiser directly supports PWSA USA, specifically our family support programs. So join Clint and Carla Hurdle on March 22nd at the Bradenton Country Club in Bradenton, Florida, or again, attend virtually from anywhere in the world. And to learn more, look through the auction items and purchase tickets. You can find that link in our show notes. We also shared a new fundraising event that's going to be happening this year, and it's one that our entire team is so excited about because our staff member, Pia Dorson, is hosting it for her beautiful, amazing daughter, Zara, in her honor. So we just cannot wait for this event to happen. It's been, I think, a long time in the making, and Pia is such a wonderful, amazing person in our community and on our staff, and we just want to celebrate her and all the work that she's doing around this. So here are some details. The event will take place on Saturday, April 5th. 2025 at 6 p.m. Eastern, and it will be at the Historic Hall in Bedford, New York. So please come together for the inaugural Zara's Night of Light. This community event brings us together to support children like Zara living with Prader-Willi syndrome. You will enjoy an evening filled with entertainment, food and drinks, a silent auction, and so much more. Please visit the event page, which you can find in our show notes, to see ticket price options, which include a variety of sponsorship opportunities as well. And every dollar raised will go directly to PWSA USA to fund advocacy, family support, and vital research to find a treatment for PWS. So we can't wait again for Pia's event, Zara's Night of Light, and we'll have more details in the next few months. And finally, our last event that we are discussing here in this Pulse is Rare Disease Day at Nationwide Children's Hospital. So this one is taking place on Saturday, March 1st from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Education Center in Columbus, Ohio. The event is a fun, family friendly opportunity for families and patients with rare diseases to learn and network with one another. There will be an adult program, an exhibition hall, and then a separate youth program and activities for the kids. There will also be PWS friendly breakfast and refreshments served during the event. Admission is free, but Nationwide Children's Hospital requests that you register ahead of time, and we do have that link in our show notes. Annie, I'm hoping to go to this event as it's in Columbus. It's like 2 hours from me. So if
Right.
families in the Ohio area are willing to go or in the area and want to travel, I really hope to go and see you there. So if you see me there, please come and say hi.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yay.
Okay, we are going to move on to advocacy. And so the first one is a big win for the PWS and rare disease communities in Pennsylvania. And we want to say a big congratulations to Kayla Day. She is a dedicated advocate and mother to 5-year-old Luella, who is living with PWS. And she has been appointed to Pennsylvania's Rare Disease Advisory Council, otherwise known as RDAC. So this is a historic moment, not only for the PWS community, but for the entire rare disease community, as Kayla is the first PWS parent to serve on any RDAC in the country. And Kayla's appointment ensures the voices of PWS families are represented at the state level, influencing policies that directly impact individuals with rare diseases. Her lived experience and passionate advocacy will help shape discussions around healthcare access, support services, and legislative initiatives that benefit those affected by PWS and other rare conditions. If you are interested in learning about RDAC in your state, you can visit your state's health department website. Please note that some states have RDACs listed under public health or rare disease initiatives. You can also email us at advocacy@pwsausa.org for additional assistance. Congratulations, Kayla. This is a huge step forward in our collective fight for awareness, resources, and better care for the rare disease community, and we are grateful for you. So we had another victory for the PWS community in Illinois, and we are thrilled to celebrate a major step forward for individuals living with PWS and the broader rare disease community in Illinois. On February 4th, 2025, Senate Bill 1651 was filed by State Senator Julie Morrison, and House Bill 2541 was filed by State Representative Nicole Laha. So these bills mark a critical move toward better support and services for those affected by PWS. In addition to backing these bills, State Senator Neil Anderson, who represents Amy and Chris Avart, parents to Esme living with PWS, who we just talked about, successfully introduced and passed Senate Resolution 25, which formally recognizes Prader-Willi syndrome as a developmental disability in Illinois, which is awesome. We are incredibly grateful to Senator Morrison, Representative Laha, and Senator Anderson, and all of our dedicated advocates who continue to push for meaningful change. A few of them include Connor Highback, age 44, living with PWS, Sandy Noel, grandmother to Bronson, age 3, living with PWS, Nicole Tingley, administrator with DD Homes Network, and Amy and Chris Avart. So let's keep up this momentum. And if you are an Illinois resident, we encourage you to reach out to your legislators and urge them to support SB 1651 and HB 2541. So to find your state legislators, there will be a link to that in the show notes and a link to this blog so you can read more about what has been happening in Illinois and the incredible success that these advocates are having. So thank you to all of our advocates.
Yes, huge thank you. I really want to piggyback really quick on Amy and Chris's success with this testimony. Again, we urge everyone living in Illinois to please send a letter to your state senators, representatives. Again, we'll have a link in the show notes to find the state legislators in your area, but please just tell them what bills, Senate bill, House bill, that you're hoping that they support. And again, more voices, the better, the louder we are, the better around this. And I just want to clarify that the bills are asking for two things. I think there was some confusion on Facebook of what exactly these bills are trying to do. And as we said, they're trying to have Prader-Willi syndrome recognized as a developmental disability in Illinois, so that's one of them. And a big part of that is that the bills are asking that PWS be exempt from the IQ requirement.
Right.
So that's, again, a huge need in making sure that it's added to the developmental disability list
Yeah, basically
and funding.
they're taking away that the need to show that they need services based on their IQ because as we know, a lot of our loved ones do have higher IQs, but some would say, I think many would say that actually the higher IQ, the more supervision they need because the easier it is for them to figure out how to get food. There's that element. PWS is very special. And so I think it's just saying you can't use IQ as a qualifier to whether or not they need services, right?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it.
You guys understand us, right?
Oh my gosh.
And I also want to say a shout out to or a plug for the Terry Wilcox episode. If you're getting fired up by listening to these advocates and you want to learn more about advocating, definitely check out the Terry Wilcox episode and kind of what you said about calling your legislators
Mhm.
in Illinois and telling them one of the things Terry Wilcox says is you have to tell them what to do.
Yes.
Like, that's one of the tips for advocating is just tell them what to do because they get bombarded with so much stuff.
Yep.
So,
A
yeah,
simple call, email, again, just with the bill numbers, why it's important to our community, to yourself
yeah, and
individually is going to
yeah,
go a long way. Or if you feel like it, show up at their doors.
there you go.
No one hears above that. All right, moving on now to our family support section. And our first part of this was another wonderful PWS and Adulthood blog series article. And this one focuses on steps toward more independent living. Lindy Kessinger, and I apologize if I said that wrong, she is mom to Maddie, an adult living with Prader-Willi syndrome. She shared her daughter's story into adulthood. They have tried a few different living arrangements for Maddie, adjusting the support where needed. Maddie is enrolled in the carbetocin trial. Carbetocin, again, is Acadia Pharmaceuticals intranasal spray designed to treat hyperphagia. Lindy shared how they have been able to adjust Maddie's support with regards to the effectiveness of carbetocin. So, to learn more about the steps Maddie is taking toward a more independent life, you can find the link in our show notes. And there you will also find a form to submit your own PWS in Adulthood blog or invite your adult loved one with PWS to submit one for themselves. And Annie, I can't wait to learn more about Maddie. I would love to do like a follow up as she
Yeah,
goes on because all these treatments are all very new, and we're with the open labels now, we're able to see how they're actually affecting our loved ones over time as they take it more long term. So I cannot wait to hear more about the independent living aspect of being on these treatments. So yeah, and if anyone out there listening has more experience with that, has had their loved one on open label for, a few months now, or years, let us know how that's going. I think people are so interested to know how that's going and what these treatments are doing in terms of independence.
absolutely. Yeah, I definitely want to hear more. And I will say another little update is that Freya stayed home by herself the other day for an hour and a half, which
Yes.
was exciting. And I think parents can relate to that. I mean, she's 13. And yeah, it was, of course, I had things locked away, but I don't know. It's just been inspiring to read these PWS and adulthood blogs and realize that there are more possibilities for independence for many of our loved ones. Not all, and I'm not advocating for like across the board because everybody has different needs and
Yeah.
different supports, but we were able to do that and it was really great. So I came home and Freya had cleaned the kitchen.
Oh,
So that was awesome.
gosh, I love her. She's so wonderful. Not only did she keep your mind at ease, but also did something nice for her mom.
Yeah.
Oh, Freya. That's awesome, Annie. All right. So our Ask Nurse Lynn for the week was submitted by or on behalf of a female, 40 years old, living with PWS with an unknown subtype. And the question submitted was, my sister has digestive episodes, severe constipation, and now vomiting, which she didn't do as a child, and usually results in vasovagal episodes and her complaining of side and chest pains. There's nothing hospitals can do, but how should my parents better manage her diet? This is such a great question submitted. I think a lot of people can resonate with this one. And as always, Nurse Lynn Garrick gave an amazing response, and we will have a link to her response in our show notes. And again, if you have a non emergency medical question about PWS, we encourage you to submit that. There is going to be a form in that article about vasovagal episodes as well. So scroll down if you have your own question and submit it there.
All right, so we're going to move on to research. So, Trend Community released its latest report on PWS and emotional and behavioral patterns. And this report analyzed conversations that parents and caregivers had been having on the topic of emotional and behavioral issues. In a testament to the dedication and connection of parents to their loved ones, the largest primary emotion category was happiness, with love being the most commonly expressed emotion. And of course, due to the nature of PWS, worry was the second largest primary emotion category, with fear as the largest subcategory. The report continues with an analysis of PWS specific challenges like tantrums, meltdowns, and skin picking, and covers topics related to behavior management like behavior therapy and psychiatric dosing and pediatric therapy services. So, this report can help parents and caregivers understand the commonalities of individuals with PWS and management strategies, while providing researchers and professionals with a clearer understanding of where support and interventions are needed. So there will be a link to the full trend report in the show notes. This is trend report number 3. And just a reminder for people that trend community was on Facebook for a couple years,
Right.
knowingly so. Everybody had to agree to
Well
it.
advertised, yeah.
It was advertised. And they analyzed conversations. They, of course, de identified. Nobody's names were attached to these conversations, but from those conversations, they were able to gather this information and write these reports. And actually, the pitolisant trial is a result of these conversations of researchers and professionals realizing that excessive daytime sleepiness is an issue for families. So Trend is continuing this research over on Discord, which is an app. And once you get in the Discord app, you can join the PWS channel, or I'm sorry, you can join PWS Connect, where we are having more conversations. Trend community is in there. They are not looking at names. They're not pulling anybody's names or personal information. They're just getting de-identified information about what parents and caregivers are concerned about, and they're able to use this information to further PWS research. So if you would like to participate in PWS research and also have great conversations about treatments and, different age groups and just all kinds of topics related to PWS, you will find a link for that in the show notes as well. I also included in here, just because it missed a pulse, but one of our recent podcast episodes was Clinical Trial Perspectives, Part 1, because we will be doing this again with different families. And if you're a family involved in a clinical trial and you're interested in talking about it, please email me at pwsausa.org, and that'll be in the show notes. But I got to speak with Jennifer Andrews and Christy Rickenbach and Justice Rickenbach, and we talked about our experiences in the pitolisant trial. And so if you're interested in listening to that, that'll be in the show notes. And one more in research, Harmony. Again, the pitolisant trial has announced a new trial site in Atlanta, Georgia. I believe this is the second trial site in Atlanta, Georgia. This is at Emory University, and you'll find that contact in the show notes.
Okay. And then to end here, we have a couple PWSA USA announcements to share. One is that we are hiring for a new position, administrative assistant. So, are you highly organized, detail oriented, and passionate about making a difference? If so, PWSA USA is seeking a dedicated administrative assistant to support our mission of empowering individuals and families affected by PWS, and we encourage you to apply. This dynamic role involves providing executive support to our CEO, the wonderful Stacy Ward, assisting with key departmental functions like donor acknowledgments and chapter engagement, and managing essential administrative tasks to keep our operations running smoothly. Ideal candidates will have strong communication skills, a knack for technology, and experience in a nonprofit or remote environment. If you're ready to contribute to meaningful work in a collaborative and impactful organization, we encourage you to apply to join the PWSA USA, and you'll find the full position description at the link in our show notes. And then to apply, you can email your resume to Stacy's email. That's sward@pwsausa.org, and we will have that in the show notes as well. And we're looking forward to having more people join our team, Annie.
Yeah, I know, it's
We have such a fun
exciting.
team.
We do. The
All right. And
Mexican
then,
restaurant can attest to it.
yes, they love us at the Mexican restaurant at the Arizona Grand Resort and Spa location, and we love them.
And here's a heads up while I'm thinking about it, definitely check out the Mexican restaurant.
Mhm.
Also, the portions are
Huge.
huge.
Yes,
Doro and
we
I
did learn
shared
that.
a burrito, and it was still too big for both of us. So just a heads up, if you come to the conference and you go eat there, just know you'll have leftovers or share a plate, whatever, because 'cause they're
Yes.
big and delicious. So,
And delicious. All
so
the food
good.
there is so good. It's wild. Yep.
And it's called Aunt Chiladas.
Enchiladas. And we just got it this past time. Enchiladas. Yep, fair. Makes sense. Our last announcement is our resource spotlight, and we chose to spotlight the behavior management resource page. Behavior management is a key element to many of our loved ones with PWS living a successful life. While behavior challenges may be a common characteristic of PWS, we offer a lot of information and skill building tools for navigating these issues. On our Behavior Management Resource Hub, you'll find PDFs on the topics of food security, behavior management guidelines, understanding how the individual with PWS thinks, creating positive behavioral plans, strengthening boundaries, and more. We encourage you to browse our behavior management resources at the link in our show notes. And if you can't find what you're looking for or need more assistance with your loved one with PWS, you can always contact us either at our email info@pwsausa.org or call our 24-hour crisis line. And again, that could be crisis related or just to talk if you have questions. And that's our phone number, 941-312-0400.
All right.
And that's our pulse today, Annie. Thank you for listening to this episode of PWS United. If you want to learn more about Prader-Willi syndrome and how PWSA USA is making strides in advocacy, family support, and research, visit www.pwsausa.org. And while you're there, we encourage you to sign up for our Pulse email newsletter to stay informed about the latest news, resources, and events. Don't forget to subscribe to the PWS United podcast so you never miss an episode. Our team is always available to support families and their loved ones living with PWS 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You can call us at 941-312-0400 or email info@pwsausa.org. Catch a new episode next Tuesday, and until then, have a great week.